Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your July 1st to the 15th, 2025 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Aries, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, angels, I love that. Love that for you. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. Okay, Aries. Give me a moment. Let me take it all in. Okay. So at the heart of it all, as we saw, because the card fell out, turned right side up, is the sun. And I love that for you. The sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. It is prosperity, it is success, it is bounty, it is abundance. It's a real sense of achievement, but it's also a lightness, a joy, a real sense of like, I'm letting myself shine. And there's this energy around us during this time. And there's been this energy for a while now of I'm stepping into my power. It's not that I'm giving my power away, but I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, this is what I want. This is how I'm moving forward. This is what I'm going after. And I'm stepping into me. And as you do so, the challenge here is going to be the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Those are all water sign energy. So if you're born on the cusp with Pisces, if you have water sign energy in your chart, note that that part of your personality can be coming out, but like it needs more attention. And you're going to think like, oh, just kind of like suck it up, push it forward. I've got this. No, let yourself feel. Let yourself embrace your feelings, not being, one of those people that's like overly like, oh my gosh, type of thing, like too emotional, too intense about it all. We all know what Spirit is saying here, but just really embracing the heart and knowing that this is leading by what you love, what's sacred to you, what's powerful to you, what's important to you, and how you open up to what it is that you really want in your life and what you're really looking for. So the challenge is going to be to say it doesn't always need to be logical. Sometimes it gets to be emotional. Like it gets to just feel right. And you're going to have feelings during this time. And it's going to be like, okay, maybe I listen to this. Like maybe I move forward this way. Maybe I look at it like this. And it's going to lead us then to where we need to focus. And this is the King of Wands. This is us. So we then have ourselves coming through. We are represented by the wands and the minor arcana. There's a fierceness to us, a tenacity. What I love is that both the kings are wearing the red shirt. So there's there's fire, there's tenacity, there's distinction leading us forward. This is listening to the heart, but coming through a very peaceful means, a very dedicated means of soul and calm. It's like, I don't care if you follow me. I'm going to move forward this way. Like, I'm moving forward in this grace, very meditative, very zen, you know? And then the King of Wands is much more action-based. We are going to take action. We're going to move forward. I'm going to push this down. I'm going to get this. I'm going to do that. Both are king energy, though. So both are very active. They're going to be active, very proactive, very determined, very focused, very, very guided. And that is going to be part of the first half of July for you as well. You're going to be very focused. You're going to be very guided. You're going to be very determined. You're going to be looking at things in a fierce way, in a distinct way, but in a I can do this way. And also rolling up your sleeves, like getting your hands dirty type of way as well. So that's going to be very important here. You're also going through a bit of transformation when it comes to your fire, when it comes to your passion, when it comes to what you love and how you see yourself and how it is that you want to move forward. It's more of a sense of like owning your space and not trying to be what we think others would expect. It's like, no, this is me. As long as we come from a place of love, compassion, kindness, respect, you know, in moving that forward, that's everything. It moves us then to what we are leaving behind. And that is the Page of Wands. So it's this student energy. Right now we're in king energy. The king is not a student. The king already knows. He's been there, done that, you know, and now he moves forward in power. The Page of Wands can be seen as child energy, but it's also the sense of creating, of gaining an understanding, of asking the whys and the how comes, looking at things differently, opening up the door to yourself, you know, asking a lot of questions, seeking a lot of things. So the Page of Wands is moving us forward very tenaciously, right? And it has been. But what we're going to see is that like the kind of like the time for study, the time of learning, the time of making sure you get everything just right, we've accomplished that. And now it's time to step into what we want, what we're looking for, how we see ourselves in a greater way, a bigger picture type of thing. So that's going to be very important, but also we can feel like it's not time to fool around anymore. It's time to be really serious. We still need that lightheartedness. That's what the King of Cups brings. It brings a lightheartedness. It brings a grace. It brings a curiosity. So keeping that childlike curiosity moving us forward, but having that determination and focus as somebody who has put in the time and has learned, you know, you've done your 10,000 hours, you've seen what it is that you want, or you know that, okay, I'm going to have to put time and energy into my 10,000 hours, right, to become a master of something. And now I'm moving me forward. I have this clear direction. It moves us then to our strength, and that is going to be the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is change your mind, change your life. So what you're going to be seeing here is that you're looking at things very differently. You're also turning away from this blaming, angry energy, which is like, I should have done this differently, I should have done that differently, or very sad energy. Like, well, we come to this energy one or two ways. It depends on our personality, and because this is a general reading, you know, it does depend on the personality of whomever is watching. And with the Five of Cups, what we're going to see is that we can blame ourselves, right? We can get really angry with ourselves, or we can get really sad. I should have done better. Nobody's going to like me. I've messed this up. I'm such a fool. So just be aware of that energy coming forward during this time, because your strength is turning away from the doubting, turning away from the chaos, but you're also going to be able to call out the inside chaos and be like, you know what? That's not true. Nobody's perfect. Why am I holding myself up to these like ridiculous standards? And we're going to embrace our love, our passion, our power, our healing, but also our gifts, the way that we have been blessed, which is different than other people. Everybody has their own gifts, and it's moving forward in that passion and in that power. It moves us then to our near future, and it is the Six of Cups. We are going to be pulling from our rich history, right? Whether that be our own personal history, it can be going back further into our ancestral history, past life history, you know, it all depends on the individual. But with the Six of Cups, we're going to be pulling deeply from the well of the past. Now, this can make us nostalgic, and it also can make it like, oh my gosh, you know, it isn't just like this, or it isn't just like that. So do be mindful about that we can be comparing ourselves to a memory, and our memories sometimes, you know, polish things in a certain way that can make it feel completely unobtainable. So with the six, or like unobtainable, we're always going to be striving. With the Six of Cups coming forward, you're going to have this beautiful well of knowledge. You're going to see things in a completely different way, and how your past has shaped you, but also needing to come from it in a place of like gratitude And I know for some that can be very triggering, right? And for others, it's like, oh my gosh, my past was so lovely and it was so wonderful. But it's standing in the power of who you are and all the battles that you have fought, all the ways that you have overcome, all the achievements that you have had, all the people that have, cheerleaded for you or that, told you couldn't and you've proven them wrong. Now you're seeing yourself step into you. And you're also seeing the way that you were molded. And, it's going to be interesting, but if you meditate, you can start to see the different phases of yourself from when you were really, really little, right, to where you are now. And that is beautiful. Or looking into the mirror, you can actually see that reflection of those faces that have made you who you are. And it's the honoring of the longevity of being that we have. Instead of sitting there and saying, oh my gosh, I wish I could be, we might wish we could be, whatever age again. But it's like, I am proud of me. And that is beautiful. There's a pride here. There's a beauty here. And it moves us to the advice. And the 10 of Swords comes forward. Now, this means that we've come to a completion of a cycle when it comes to words, when it comes to the way that we're listening to everybody and everything. We've also been overburdened. So the 10 of Swords comes forward, and we can find that we've kind of made a big deal out of certain things and we have to let them go. 5 of Cups, right? Change your mind, change your life, going to be our strength. We're going to be releasing certain things that we just don't want anymore. And then we're going to see a resurrection of self, a resurrection of power, a determination, an insight, and a focus, opening up the door in a new way and in a powerful way. So the 10 of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, here is very pretty. Yes, it is a muted color, so it's a little bit more serious, a little bit more somber, has muted colors in it. But in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it is a person laid on the ground with 10 swords in them. They have a fortune. Swords back in the day made a person or broke a person, right? So what we're going to see is that you're taking a wealth of knowledge, the swords that have been stabbed in your back that feel like betrayals, hurts, pains, upsets. I can't believe they said that. I can't believe they thought this way. And taking it personally. And what you're going to sit there and say is like, you don't get to define me. I get to define me. And as you rise up, you take the swords out of your back. The swords fall on the ground. And now you can, you have 10 swords, which you can do whatever you want with, right? There's that real sense of, I have this power to move me forward in my knowledge, in my understanding, in my determination of me. And it's taking that knowledge in and knowing that those swords, they're knowledge, they're insights, they're beauty. And it's a transformation of self. I always see this as the Minor Arcana Death card, the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, but it's mentally. And that's where so much of our power happens, within our mind. It moves us then to our environment, and it is the Chariot. Now, we are in Cancer time period. Cancer time period is it's June 21st to July 22nd. So right now we are in Cancer time period. So the environment is literally Cancer time period, but we're also taking the reins. And we're going to see things moving forward. Now, this is where things can get emotional, right? Cancers can be very emotional. Water sign energies can be astoundingly emotional. Sometimes, Aries, we have a hard time with that because we want it to be more practical. If we have a lot of water and we have a lot of fire in our chart, we can feel like we're always like boiling, right? Or it can feel like hard to balance things. So that can be something to look at as well. So just being aware of this. But with the Chariot, what you're going to see is that you're taking the reins. You're going after what it is that you want. You're looking at things in a different way. You're also going to be a little bit daring because nobody lets, horses pull their caravan while they sit on the top if they're not a bit daring, if there's not a bit of like, okay, daredevil energy to you. So here, that's going to be important. Don't be too daring. Do be mindful about things. But there's also the sense of like, I have to open up the door. I have to get going. I have to change this. And as that energy comes forward, the hopes and the fears come in. And this is the moon. Now, this is Pisces energy. Again, if you're born on the cusp with Pisces, this is a time frame of February 19th to March 20th. If you have Pisces in your chart, this will come through very powerfully. But this is really being able to see your fears. Your fears might feel more alive than the world around you. And that's feeling things a little bit too much, right? So just being aware of that. We can get a little bit too much in our own heads. We can be a little bit intense with ourselves. But also, if we look at our fears and say, okay, I see that, I acknowledge that, step back and then say, but what about my dreams? You are going to see that your dreams come forward, your passions, your fires, your determinations. This is going to be a time that's rich in dreams for you. So with your hopes and fears. The fears come forward because the mind, the imagination is active and it's ripe, it's intense. But then if we say, okay, I'm stepping back from the fears, I'm looking at things differently, I'm letting myself heal, I'm being kinder to me, and I'm like changing the game, all of a sudden you're also going to see your dreams coming forward with intensity, with beauty, with love, with compassion, but also with this little bit of a, I double dog dare you to break down this barrier, to open up this door. So that's really cool. It can be a little bit overwhelming. Neptune is ruled by, not Neptune, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the ruler of the unseen world. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Okay, so emotions are intense and powerful during this time. Neptune is that dreams come forward very, very powerfully. So even daydreams or like imagination, very powerful, but also know that that means that nightmares can be powerful as well. So just being aware of that and really keeping your energy calm and smooth. I know with everything that's going on, that can seem intense or naive, but the only thing that we have control over, or and sometimes not even that, are our own emotions, right? But we still feel things that we're like, well, that's silly. Like, I don't want to feel that. Like, pulling back, becoming very aware of things to let things flow like a river away from us. But here, it is looking at our dreams and our desires, and it is saying to ourselves, I'm stepping into the unseen world, the world of my dreams, and I'm embracing it with passion. It's no longer I need to learn. Now it's I'm acting. I'm opening that door. And it brings us then to the 8 of Pentacles. And this is going to be a time, the first half of July, even though if you're in like the Northern Hemisphere, it's summertime, right? You don't want to you want to kind of slow things down. And you might be slowing things down, yes, but you're also going to be really passionate in your work, really passionate in how you want to open up the doors, what you're going after, looking at things, being a lot more clear, being a lot more focused with the way that you're moving forward. The 8 of Pentacles can be all work and no play, but what you're going to see here is that you're changing the game. You're looking at things in a very different way. You're looking at yourself in a very different way. And again, that attitude of rolling up the sleeves, I can do this, I've got this, and having your passion, right, your fire, your tenacity, and your heart, your emotions working together, and not doubting either one of them, saying, okay, this is me, this is how I'm moving forward, I'm really proud of who I am. You get the job done. And as you get the job done, it's like the weight is lifted off your shoulders. It's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, those lies, they were lies. They weren't true. They weren't kind of like, precursors of my existence or spells cast over me that said, I wasn't going to achieve, I wasn't going to be, and just kind of paralyzed me. No, I'm breaking these curses. I'm breaking these spells, and I'm creating my life. I'm looking at what I desire, because it's always interesting what sticks into our heads and how we see ourselves in comparison. Somebody might look at you, and right now you're giving off sun energy, right? You're giving off vibrancy, passion, tenacity, determination. Nothing can hold you back. And that can also be really frustrating, because you can be struggling and people look in and they're like, oh, you've got this. Like, you've got this, no worries. And it's like, no. Now letting yourself shine and being like, yeah, I do have this. And I am moving forward in my passion. And let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. This is the meadowlark, and it's a smile. You will soon experience a wonderful journey of inner discovery. And, it's like you're leaving behind this need to care what everybody else thinks about, and saying, but this is me. This is what I want. This is what I love. And as you do so, your chakra energy is angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels. Oh, gosh. Okay, we have 2 right here. We have the crown chakra, which is meditate, really connecting with your inner self. And then we have the solar plexus chakra, which, is connecting with your gut. And this is self-mastery, seeing yourself, looking at what it is that you desire, looking at what it is that you want, and opening up that door, meaning you're listening to your gut instead of saying, oh, I'm overreacting, and oh, I'm being silly, and oh, that's just ridiculous. No, you're listening to your body and you're saying, oh, this matters. I see me. Because if you don't see you, right, how can anybody else see you? It moves us then to our energy to be mindful of angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. And that is 2 as well. Interesting. So we have the the Prince of Cups coming forward. That's water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, right? We are having a bit of difficulty with water sign energy. We do have Pisces energy coming through very, very powerfully in this reading, around our hopes, around our fears. Our dreams are very real to us, and we can get a little bit annoyed at that. It could be like, dream, you know what, you're not going to come true, the time has passed type of thing. Don't say that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. It might be different than the way you dreamt it up when you were like 15 years old and you had this vocabulary, this way of seeing things. Now the world opens, right? Now you can look at things a different way and be like, this is the passion, but see that creativity. Like there are jobs out there, not even jobs, there are creative outlets that, you know, I never even knew of. I never even knew certain things existed. And it's like, oh, wow, you could do that. Oh, wow, you could do that. Yes, they can be jobs, but you might not want them to be jobs. You might want, you know, a steady, stable job that doesn't have like any chaos to it, right? And, or like that type of chaos where it's like all creative, right? So just be aware of this. Be aware here. And look at what it is that you desire. Here, it's a sense of like emotions kind of pulling you forward. And also things being overwhelming. That's also one of the things with the Ten of Swords, Spirit did say it, where it can be overkill. This is like the mind taking over and looking at things and making it bigger than it is, blowing things out of proportion. And you know that once, or at least like I definitely have experienced it, where like you see things in a certain way, or you start to think like somebody's mad at you, and all of a sudden your brain makes up this huge story, your imagination takes over, makes up this huge story. If you go and ask the person, hey, are you mad at me? Did I do that wrong? They're like, no, what the heck? I was annoyed at XYZ, or this happened, or that happened. It has nothing to do with you. So being aware of that is going to be very important here. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message. And this is the Oriole. And it says, a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as positive change. Because it is. You're going to see yourself moving in a more creative way. And moving in a way that really enriches your soul. Again, it doesn't have to be a job. A lot of times we think of, oh, I'm going to do this side hustle. I'm going to monetize my passion, or my thing that brings me pleasure in my downtime. And you don't have to. You can just enjoy it. You can, you know, just soak it in like the flowers soak in the rain and the sunshine. You know, just soak it in and love it. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra message, and this is flexibility. This is the sacral chakra. This is our sensuality. This is our creativity, and you're going to see a flexibility within yourself coming forward. It's like, well, what about this and what about that? Like, what about moving in this way? Now, meaning that like, it's like, what about doing things a little bit different? And you're being flexible of mind, but also you're going to see that being flexible of body is going to be very important to you as well. It's kind of like moving your body, you know, just embracing joy, looking at things differently. That's going to be important. It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. This is the Six of Pentacles. This is things getting out of balance, especially with money or what you value as much as money. You can very easily undersell yourself or overextend yourself and not be seeing your worth. So just be aware of this. And it's okay to put, you know, parameters on things, guidelines on things. That's going to be important as well. It moves us then to our subconscious, tarot message, and that is the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords is heartbreak, it's pain, it's disappointment. We've been through a lot, and we have a tendency, Aries, to be like, well, just buck it up, just keep going, just buck it up, just keep going, or to get like angry at it, and that anger can bubble over, and people will be like, well, why are you angry? What's going on? And it's like, I'm hurting. When people hurt, they either go into like, well, they could do a couple of things, right? But one of them is like, you can just become really sad, right? You don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. The other one is like, I'm going to do everything, and I'm going to just fiercely push this aside. And there's an anger, there's a frustration, there's a chaos to that as well. There's a chaos to both of them. Here, I see this more as the pushing through. Now, you can be sad and want to just close the door and put the covers over your head and be done like that, like you just leave me alone type of thing. And if that's the case, you need to give yourself time to heal, but embracing your heart and kind of getting into something where people connect spiritually with you is going to be important. It doesn't have to be like an orthodoxy of spirituality, but it can be going to a Tai Chi class at the library or at a local dojo or whatever. You know, that could be really important. The library one is nice because it is free. So if you are lucky enough to have that, or you can start one, you know, and be like, oh, I want to start this. Let's do this meditation or this movement. So here with the Three of Swords, if it's like you're kind of like running away from the pain, just know that whenever you stop, it's right there. And the Three of Swords is looking at the pain that you have been through and knowing that there are three big ones. And it is releasing them. It's like screaming into your pillow. It's releasing them. It's letting the anger come forward, doing some sort of physicality that lets the anger come forward, and then sitting in peace within yourself, because that is going to be the hardest thing. It's always going to come back to the meditation and the crown chakra, the silence coming in, which we don't like in our world right now. We fill everything with noise, right? Sitting in silence is overwhelming to us, and it's claiming that silence, but it's claiming that pain as well. And you're going to see that it does become something beautiful. It does transform into something that like enriches your life. And even if it's just that now you have more compassion and the way that you connect with the world is more humane, that's everything. I mean, that's everything. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of yourself. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed first half of July and a blessed life. Bye.